So, good evening, everyone present here. So, this is last online. This is one extra class that was supposed to happen as a part of online discussion. So, this discussion is will be mainly focused on the question which you have. If you have any kind of question, you can just ask me. I will try to give the solution or give the idea how to solve that. There are high chances that I might not be solving it right now. So Sachin RS has left the meeting. Suresh Usa Raju.
Hi, sir.
So if you have any question, you can either write in chat box, you can just
Sorry, sir. Actually, this is my first section problem solving. Lot of times I already seen your classes in not in directly.
okay.
So can you please tell me how to pass that NPTEL examinations? Can you do that some important topics right now?
See the pattern that you will see in your exam will be similar to what you were getting in your assessment. So I hope you have already gone through. You are you able to see my screen? First, tell me this thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just 1 minute. The type of question which are there, mostly it will be this thing, multiple correct question, multiple means single choice or multiple choice. There will be some numerical also that you have been solving till now. So the actually I have not appeared in any NPTEL examination, so I have just talked with some of the friend who has appeared in the NPTEL examination, and they were saying that the question which appears during the assessment time, you can expect that type of question only. It won't be miss if you have gone through the lectures. So I think this type of question you were getting, like this single choice question, and in between there was some numerical question also. So you can expect that question, or you can high chances that the pattern will be similar to this thing only. And regarding which chapter is important, that I have no idea, because most of the time it has been seen that the question will be from each and every section, each and every portion of the lectures, like from starting from big one to uh, big 12. So I will just I will ask you to go to I will ask you to go through each and every lectures and try to solve all the numericals that you were getting. mm, hmm, that you were getting in your assessment time. I hope this clears your doubt. This.
Thank you, sir. And another one question, sir.
Huh?
Actually, how much of percentage has been in the assignment questions in main exam? How much can?
So I think it's written in your this thing, review assessment. Just assessment progress has just just wait 1 minute. I will show you something which say miss, there it was written that how much percentage you will get to miss, there are different category. Just 1 minute. Choose to review timeline and guidance. Click at a time. Consider. Actually, there is one guidance written there that how much you have to score to get. There are different category: golden category, silver categories, something like that. So you have to miss. I'm not getting that assessment thing. Mm, but you can find it on online. Just let me search. MPD assessment. Assessment. But, hmm. Uh, I think just let me check here only. So actually, you can find it on its website. You can do it by yourself. Right now, I won't be wasting time on that thing. Not wasting, but there
Okay,
is
okay, okay.
but there is something based on that thing. There is this a score will be, I think, above 60%. You will be getting golden certificate, something like that. So you can just search, but that which kind of certificate you will be getting on a scoring above that score and all this thing. Okay. So right now I am not able to search that thing, but it's available. If somewhere I have seen it's available, so if I have seen, miss, you can also find it at some place. Okay, now. So just search it.
Yeah.
You will get it. Miss, you will have idea means how much you have to score to get a good certificate. But just remember, you have to score, I think, above 60 to get a good certificate. So there is something golden certificate, silver certificate, like this thing. And I don't remember exactly what was there, but it's something like that only. Okay. So anyone else have any question? Madhuja B. Civil. If you have any question, you can ask. Either you can type in the chat box, or you can turn on your mic and you can speak.
No, sir.
Okay. Then Pratik, if you have any question,
No, sir.
okay, a new person has joined. So remember, this session is mainly focus. I won't be in this like previous session. In previous session, I used to discuss some questions and all these things. In this session, I am not going to solve any question, or this session is just a interactive session. So that if you have any kind of doubt, you can just ask. So if you are expecting that I will be discussing something, so sorry for that. There won't be any problem solving session. This session has been referred as extra session, where if you have any kind of doubt related to any topics that has been covered during 12 weeks, you can just ask. I will just go to that topic. I will try to explain or summarize the things if you have any kind of problem. So just go through. If you are facing, you means you have 1 hour, you can just go through your notes, or you can go through any particular question. I will try to discuss that. New
सर
person.
पे
Okay. Yes, please.
पेपर पैटर्न क्या होगा? मैं asking one question about it.
Okay, first,
Sir, actually,
let me clear the doubt of Pratik. Just wait, Suresh, wait for 1 minute. So Pratik, the question pattern will be similar to the assessment that used to happen on a weekly basis. It will be exactly same. So
ओके सर.
I hope you are going through the weekly assessment. So you can be, you might have faced some single choice question, multiple choice question, then some kind of numerical. So you can expect that type of question.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
Suresh, yes.
Yes, sir. Actually, my question is, this is NPTEL mandatory for examination to all universities.
Sorry, repeat.
To,
I did not get you, sis.
actually, this course is mandatory for after completion BTech certificate. Yes, sir. Nothing.
Yes, I don't know.
You don't know, sir.
I have no idea about that thing. I think it
Oh,
might be your university, your college policy that you have to attend this NPTEL lecture.
okay.
No,
There is
I'm
not
asking from
BTech
you.
certificate.
I don't know, miss. There is no such thing that to getting degree you have to do this course.
Okay.
Miss, I think, miss, you are doing your course. Miss, the first question is why you are doing this course. Obviously, to get knowledge and all these things. But what you have asked, I have
But
no idea about.
actually, I just told that this is a mandatory course. After you have completed that course, you have to get in BTech certificate. That's my lectures are told now.
Sorry, I have no idea about this.
Yeah, okay.
Sir, how
Sir,
many
actually,
questions are there?
you
Num
Anantapur, sir.
Number of question, I have no idea about that.
Okay,
See,
okay.
I think this question you can just search on the miss. You can go through the previous data. I don't know. You can just type on Google, yeah, Chrome, that NPTEL previous year question. There are high chances that miss, there are high chances that you will be getting it. But I have no idea, frankly speaking. So I won't be commenting that how many questions will be there. But pattern, I'm sure about the pattern. Pattern will be similar to the assessment pattern. Indhu Bala, or if you have any question, you can just type in the chat box, or you can turn on your mic. So just see, out of there were there were around 12 weeks. So on the first week you were, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hmm. So on the first week of the lecture, on the first week, there was some basic discussion about water and wastewater treatment, and you were given some task to related to some fundamental concepts like mole. There were some question related to this topic also, like how there were some chemicals like calcium being added in the water, yeah, sodium being added in the water, and you were asked to find the molarity and all these things. And there were several different drinking water parameters. So remember, for drinking water parameter you have to follow this drinking water IS code, that is 10500 of 2012. So IS 10500 2012 is specifically for drinking water parameters. So as a environmental engineer, or as a civil engineering, if you are interested in this environmental engineering department, and especially in the water thing, so one should have must a throughout knowledge of this drinking water parameter. There are so I will just show you what is this drinking water parameter. I hope you might have seen it. So this is drinking water limit, drinking water parameter. So whenever we drink any water, it is made sure that it follows these specifications. So there are some specification given in this IS code, so which say that your drinking water should be within this limit range. So its pH should be between 6.5 to 8.5. So and there another thing that there are two things: one is required limit and another is permissible limit. So I hope you are clear with this, what is this required limit, and this is what is this permissible limit. So in a single word, we can, in a single statement we can say that your in no cases your drinking water should cross the permissible limit. Whatever limit is being written here, that water should be within that limit. Your what any parameter, say it is pH, turbidity, or TDS, or any kind of element which is present in your water, should be within this permissible limit. If any of the contaminant, yeah, if any of the water character is above the permissible limit, then we consider that water as uh, contaminated water, and that is not suitable water, that is not potable water. Okay. So then if you are in future, if you are preparing for masters, yeah, if you are preparing for any environmental company, then there are high chances that if that company is working on water treatment problem, so there are high chances that people will ask you what is the permissible limit of any of the parameters, say aluminum, fluoride. These are many common elements which we see in our day to day life, day to daily life. So people ask thing. So similarly, this is for groundwater. So there is another parameter for wastewater. So after when we treat water, our main task is to either dispose it, or either we will advance treat it for drinking purpose. If we are so there is limit that when you are disposing that water after treatment, suppose you have any society, some wastewater is being generated, and that wastewater is being that that wastewater just uh, that wastewater is being disposed of. Either it will be either it will be disposed of in either what landfill, river, or sea, or any area. So there are some limits. So like and that limit is seen by CP uh, waste water parameter standards. So there are some limits. Schedule 6. So see, either after treating it, either you will directly throw in the surface water, that is known as river, or you will be throwing it in public sewer, or you will be throwing in the either you after treatment it after treating wastewater. So this is uh, uh, in recent time people are using this trend that the wastewater will be treated, and that will be passed through the canal, and farmers will collect water from that canal for irrigation purpose. Or there is fourth option that you will be disposing your treated wastewater in some sea. So there are some. So see, so after treatment it is seen that there are several parameters, that what should be the pH, what should be the temperature, what should be the oil and grease, total residual chlorine, ammonia, and similarly there are many parameters. Similarly, BOD, COD. So if your if your treatment plant, suppose if you are analyzing, yeah, if you are reviewing any treatment plant that has, that means you can just then just after seeing the data of treated wastewater, you can just comment on one thing, that this water should be discharged at which place. So suppose see, every treatment plant has some currently it is online, the data are available online also, but at some places the data might not be available online. So if you visit any treatment plant, just ask the the person who is running the treatment plant. You can ask that what is this after treatment, what are the different quality, what is the different parameter which is are there of treated water, treated wastewater. Remember, I'm just talking about treated wastewater. So and they are claiming that they are treating their wastewater in a such a way that they can discharge in surface water, that is in river. So you can just check their data, and you can just match it whether they are saying correctly or not. If any of the parameters, suppose any of the parameter is not matching this table, this is a standard table, center pollution control board, center pollution control board. Okay na. So if any of the parameter is not matching, you can object that wastewater treatment plant, that you can raise a concern, You can even file a complaint on that treatment plant, that they are saying that they can discharge their water in surface water, but their data is showing that their treated water is not suitable for their water is not suitable for this thing, uh, for disposing in wastewater, sorry, in disposing in surface water. So similarly, like there is another thing, that is land for irrigation. Means people will discharge, treatment plant are discharging their wastewater in a canal. So there is one, this practice is being followed in this thing here, where in Kanpur. So there is a Jajmao treatment plant. So what is happening, that and in Kanpur there are many leather industry. So and the leather industry is, due to leather industry, a huge amount of wastewater is produced. So what happened, that for production of leather, something we use something called chromium. There is a chromium, basic chromium sulfate salt. So what happened, that people will miss in leather industry, this salt is used. So after treatment, so what happened, that a huge amount of, you just know that there is huge amount of waste is being produced. So to handle that waste, so there are several wastewater treatment, and they are discharging it in a canal. And that canal, what will happen, that canal water is used for irrigation purpose at very at several location in Kanpur area. So what is happening, that they are claiming that their water is suitable for irrigation, but studies, there have been several studies, and it has been found that water is not suitable for irrigation. So how we have concluded that water is not suitable for irrigation? So we have followed this thing. We have collected water from that canal. We have tested it in our lab, or people who are working on in that field have tested it, and they have seen that whatever limit that is being given here are not being followed. They are just discharging their water in very unsystematic way. So that water is not suitable for irrigation purpose. And the main problem has been seen of chromium. So see here, the chromium hexavalent, this is toxic. So as per this limit, it is saying that there should not be any chromium, but it has been found that this chromium concentration in their treated wastewater is very high. So just you can search on internet that what is this. I don't know if there is any paper or any research paper, but you can just see, means people are facing huge problem there, means due to use of this water, their yield is getting decreased. Whatever they used to, means when they were relying on the groundwater, so the production was very high. But right now, some many complaints are coming that due to use of this treated wastewater, they are facing problem. So that's why many people will, in future, I think there will be some guidance. Right now I don't know why they are nobody looking for that, but in future there will be some. You might heard some news that people are banning those, either they are reconstructing the wastewater treatment plant or something like that. So this was just a general knowledge. So see, I'm just how many people are there? So right now I'm just sharing some knowledge and all this thing. If you have any question, if you have any doubt in between, you can just raise your, because I have to be here at till 9 p.m. Okay. So this, I was expecting a questions from you guys, but I think that is not happening. So I will just somehow, I will try to get you involved for extra half an hour. I will be frank. Okay. So if you have any question, you are just welcome to raise your hand, or you just type in the chat box. I will happy to help you. Okay. So this was there. Then there was one main concept of this complete mass balance. So I hope you are aware of this. What is this mass balance? So now, after, in mass balance, there are several subtopic, that batch reactor, what is batch reactor, then what is continuous stirred tank reactor, that is CSTR. Then there was plug flow reactor. So there was some question related to CSTR and plug flow reactor. So similarly, then see, remember there are different water quality. Do and way there do and ways to measure it. Water quality. What are different. We went through some of the some parameters which we check whether that water is suitable for drinking purpose or not. That we have seen. Then we discussed about this nutrition in water. So when we drink water, uh, it should be like it should be drinkable as per IS code. Okay, so there has been some parameter that if you are drinking water, that water should follow some parameter. That's all. Okay, then after that the main thing started, that is the treatment of wastewater. So we see huge amount of wastage being generated in several part of country, several part of society, and to treat that, there are several treatment unit. Okay, so there are, generally wastewater treatment happen in four plan. So that is there is preliminary treatment, then there is a primary treatment, then there is a secondary treatment, and finally there is a advanced treatment. So primary treatment, we saw that in primary treatment just we just want to remove the boulders present, means larger particle which is very high, means larger particle present in the wastewater. जस्ट वन मिनट. हेलो, मैं क्लास में हूँ, बाद में फोन करता हूँ. So we see that there was preliminary treatment in which we removed the bigger particles and what do I call? Bigger particle, and there was some pump system which because that will control our discharge, because we have several treatment units which require water in a controlled way. So we have to we cannot provide a huge amount of water to that. So this come in the preliminary treatment. So after that, there come primary treatment, where we see the use of primary sedimentation tank, then coagulation, then flocculation. Then after that there was secondary treatment, where we talked about biological treatment. So use of microbes and all these things. And finally advanced treatment means, if we want to miss, what happens that generally after secondary treatment people discharge their water, because after secondary treatment most of the character, most of the parameter which is written is in CPCB are fulfilled. So after, now suppose at some place, what happened that they want to treat their wastewater in such a way that they can drink that wastewater also, means that water can be potable also. So then there comes another treatment unit, that is advanced treatment unit. So I don't remember where this practice is being done, but there are several places, or there are several water treatment where there is one extra treatment unit, where what will happen that after secondary treatment, after all the biological treatment unit and the filtration and disinfection, what will happen that water will go through one extra step, where that water will be in a such where that water will be treated in a such a extent, uh, that water will be treated in a such a extent that hmm, their water will be treated in a such a extent that water is suitable for drinking also. Okay. So these were different treatment unit. So then we discussed about now in primary treatment, as we know that we have primary sedimentation tank, and there is something we discuss about the settling velocity and scoring velocity. Like I have to make sure that all the particle which can be settled by their own weight, that should be given some particular time. We call that time as retention time, so that we don't have to so that the settable particle can be treated in primary sedimentation tank only. Then we face another challenge, that some particles are not getting settled, and we call that particle as a stable particle. So to make that particle settle, we use some chemicals, and that chemicals were known as flocculant. Okay. Then we discuss about the two concept of coagulation and flocculation. So during coagulation, we add some chemical, and then there is a rapid mixing. So that rapid mixing, what will happen, that will make that particle unstable by changing some their properties, charge properties or something. So we see that after what will happen, that after adding some chemical and mixing rapidly, the two particle which was not settling will combine with each other, and we call it this agglomeration of particles. So the particle which was initially a stable particle that was not settling, by adding some chemicals we destabilize it, and that particle settle down. So we discuss about this. There was one related to this thing. There was one derivation was also done in class. Just I will just open that. I think it's good to just summarize things if we are talking. Hmm. So see, we derive the settling velocity formula. Then that is Vs, that this particle is there. So eventually, with time, it will settle down. At what rate it will settle down? We derive that formula, and we know that after derivation we came to this equation, that Vs is equal to under root 4 by 3 into Gd into Gs minus 1 Cd. So generally for our case, we also discuss about this two case, that is laminar flow or transition flow. But for most of our cases, the flow was laminar flow in wastewater. So we, in preliminary treatment, we make sure that our flow is laminar flow. We control this discharge in a such a way that, see, a huge amount of wastewater is coming. We cannot allow all the water to go in our wastewater treatment. We have to control that flow. So we control that the flow with the pumping, with a with a station known as pumping station. So that pumping station makes sure that some limited amount of water is being passed through that another to the upcoming treatment unit, because every treatment unit has a some particular capacity. We cannot allow a huge amount of water to go into that treatment unit, to go into that treatment unit. So the flow is maintained in such a way that laminar condition, yeah, laminar flow is maintained. Okay. So there are some cases of transition flow, but this transition flow is rarely seen. Okay. Most of the flow is laminar flow, and we see that for laminar flow, the Vs, the settling velocity, was given by Gd squared Gs minus 1 divided by 18 mu, where mu is kinematic viscosity, and sorry, and mu will be dynamic viscosity. Okay. So after, similarly, we see one thing that is known as a scoring velocity. So we are sure that uh, hmm, hmm, we were sure that we made sure that settling we made sure that when particle coming in the primary sedimentation tank, it settled down easily. Okay. And that settling velocity was given by this equation, and the flow was also maintained in a such a way that the velocity is less than, because we don't want our, suppose a particle is settling here, we don't want this particle to go outside our primary sedimentation tank. We want to make sure that if a particle is settling, it just settle down at the bottom of the primary sedimentation tank. So we make sure that our flow, or our horizontal velocity, so a particle coming here will have two velocity, one is horizontal velocity and one will be the vertical velocity. The horizontal velocity will be known as a scoring velocity, means we make sure that this water, this at velocity which is at which it is settling, settling is below I is below this settling velocity, and also this less than this scoring velocity. If the velocity of the particle is more than scoring velocity, then there are high chances that this water will go out of my primary sedimentation tank. So we make sure that we follow this, some of this what do I call, precaution. Okay. Hmm. Then we discuss about the prime design of primary sedimentation tank. Then we discuss about BOD, that is biological oxygen demand. Then we see how this BOD is measured. Uh, then the most important part of this biological treatment, this wastewater treatment, is removal of biological removal, that is activated sludge process. So we see that, we know that most of the wastewater, most of the wastewater have high organic content. So the treatment of this organic matter is a very challenging process. So there were several biological the most common biological removal unit was this activated sludge process. So we saw how this uh, biological sludge process, yeah, activated, sorry, biological sludge, I'm saying activated sludge thing works. Okay. So I think there will be so see, this is a picture of biological. hmm. So this is a picture of activated sludge process. So water volume of the water will come, and this is a tank which is containing activated sludge. Why this is referred as activated sludge? Because it contains high amount of bacteria. High amount of, so some of the bacteria will be taken out from here and it will directly put into this tank. So what will happen that uh, the the kinetics of degradation will be increased. So in very less time, high amount of organic matter can be degraded. Okay. So similarly, we see that how oxygen helps. After that, we there were several formula related to this activated sludge process, like food by mass ratio, then different design parameters like retention time, residence time, then food by mass ratio. Then there was this thing of calculation of subtract. So I hope you miss you are aware of this thing. So after that, we see the nitrogen removal. Nitrogen can be removed by several process. Phosphorus similarly can be removed by either use of this thing, precipitation and all this thing. And similarly for nitrogen removal, we see this thing, nitrifying bacteria were used. Different type of nitrifying bacteria were used. And for phosphorus removal, either it can be biological or it can be chemical. Okay. So we also compare results, like how this biological will be affecting our treatment plant and how this thing will. mm then we discuss about disinfection, use of chlorine and all these things. So we see how chlorine is added, because our water will contain some treated wastewater will contain some kind of ammonia, and that ammonia will convert into ammonium, and that ammonium will react with chlorine. And how we have seen in detail. So disinfection is generally done with either in with the help of chlorine or ozone and all these things. So we see the effectiveness of different treatment plant and effectiveness of different chlorination thing. Okay. Hmm. Then we discuss about the water demand. So till this point we discuss about this thing. What do I call? We discuss about wastewater treatment. After this, in any treatment plant, this chlorination is the last thing. After filtration, there is one more thing of filtration, but this was discussed in in your groundwater treatment plant. But several treatment generally what happened that in for filtration is also done, but that come for filtration in wastewater treatment comes under advanced techniques. Okay, so generally um, you can make this analyze how this thing works. Okay, so till this point we were discussing about a wastewater treatment plant. So now what happened that we started the concept of drinking water, that is groundwater treatment or river water treatment. So what happened that we discussed about the water demand. So for any society we discuss depending upon the first we discuss this thing. What is this? Hmm. So first we discuss about this population projection. So how this with the help of arithmetic mean, geometric mean, and all these things we can predict the number of population in future. So because when our main target to predict project population wise, like we have to determine, we have to see what we have to see. We have to because we have to design parameters. We have to we have to design our water treatment plant in such a way that it can fulfill the criteria of present population also, and it can also fulfill the water demand or for next 30 years or 50 years. So we see and we know that this water demand, how much water will be consumed, all depend on the per capita, and per capita means how much water will require for a particular society or for a particular area, for a particular village, particular state. It's all depend upon the population of that area. So we saw how this so depending upon this population, we will design our treatment plant. So then we discuss about different water quality parameters, then overview of treatment plant, what are the different unit of water treatment plants. Then we discuss this physiochemical treatment. So when we are treating wastewater, generally we are concerned with organic matter. But when we are treating this groundwater, so we are concerned about any particular contaminant. So there are high chances that your water will be either contaminated with arsenic, or it will be contaminated with chromium fluoride or any particular contaminant. So for to treat any of the particular contaminants, say suppose if say someone want to treat this thing chromium. So we cannot remove chromium at we have to know the what are the different in which form chromium can exist, and how this chromium can be removed. So to for removal of chromium we have to know the its background thing, at which pH we can be removed. So there are several techniques. So we cannot use that techniques to remove particular contaminant at any pH. That removal process will only work at certain pH. So we have to see that thing. Huh. So we have to see that thing at which pH that particular contaminant can be removed. So that's why there is a need to know the physiochemical treatment process. So this is known as physiochemical. Generally, we see the geochemistry of at what pH which chemical have to use. Okay. Then again we discussed about this coagulation process. It was just a uh, it was in more, I think, in more detailed way. We see different type of coagulants such as LM and all these things. So and we also see the rapid mixing for because for coagulation purpose we need, after adding chemical, we have to provide some external energy so that a proper interaction can happen between the chemicals and the particles which we want to settle. So there is need of rapid mixing all this thing. Then we see the flocculation. Flocculation means adding chemical, then we have to slowly mix it. Okay, so in coagulation there is a rapid mixing, and here in flocculation there is a slow mixing. Then we discuss about this settling. Again, when we talk about this settling time thing, we have to focus on the settling velocity. Gs is equal to under root 4 by 3, that formula. Okay, then we discuss about the filtration thing, that is sand filtration and all this thing. Again, we discuss about this disinfection, then hardness, this due to presence of multivalent. If we are talking about hardness, we should also discuss about this alkalinity. Okay, so we discuss about hardness and alkalinity. Then we see that this how alkalinity can be reduced by this lime soda process. Then there we talk about several techniques. Okay, not removal of this lime soda, softening is different thing. Sorry, I said something wrong. That is, so removal cleansing, no, that was not thing. I discussed about something else. Okay, then we talked about adsorption. So we said that there are several particular matter which can be, which we don't want to remove by addition of some chemicals. So what happened that we will provide some surface that will adsorb those chemicals, so that this adsorption concept was discussed. So we see how, see, it's all depend upon the pH and all this thing. Then we see about the removal of Fe and manganese. So generally aeration is done. So what will happen that when we do aeration, the oxygen will come in the contact of Fe, and Fe will react with O, and in that manner this iron can be removed. Similarly for Mn, that is manganese, Mn will react with oxygen, and in that way Mn will be removed. Okay. Then in the last, in all these process, whether it is activated sludge process, primary sedimentation tank, activated sludge process, sorry, activated ASP, whatever it is. So that will produce some kind of sludge. So the main challenge is to how to handle that sludge. Okay now, so we see that how this, there were several different. So generally two type of sludge is produced: primary, from the primary sedimentation, primary sedimentation, primary sludge, and the from the secondary sedimentation, secondary sludge. Okay, so we see that our main target, all the primary sedimentation tank will generally contain high amount of organic inorganic matter, and the secondary sludge will contain high amount of organic matter. So we were more concerned about the secondary sludge, because that contains high amount of that contain high amount of organic matter, and that organic matter is made of C, and that carbon can be converted into methane, and that methane can be used to produce electricity and all this thing. So in activated, in this sludge management, we were mainly focused on how to um, um, please turn off your mic. Saket, Saket, please turn off your mic if you have not turned it off for other person. If you have any doubt, you can ask, or I will just end the lecture. What are all the important topic to score good marks? This is tough question. We cannot miss. Then I see, miss. uh, I cannot answer this. These are important topic to score good marks. But focus on, see, if you have gone through the weekly assessment, you might have feel that wherever there was some, and miss, I don't know the answer of this question. Okay, so if you have any doubt other than that about pattern will be similar to whatever was being asked you during assessment time. But that is the thing. If you have any another doubt, you can just write it down. Archana Kumari, if you have any question, you can ask.
No, sir. I asked from the last session.
Okay. Saket Gupta, if you have any more doubt, you can ask right now. So it's already. Hmm. Okay, think you don't have, none of you have any questions. So I will just all the best for your final exam, and that's all for this online discussion. I think this is the last session, and I think I don't know when is your examination, but all the best for your exam. Tata.
Thank you, sir.